Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Eric. Eric is from Kentucky, but he lives in Florida in the USA. So let's see what Eric has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello, Eric.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for asking me to do it.
So tell me, how is your morning going so far?
It's going good so far. Haven't really done much yet. We'll be doing some stuff later on today. So kind of just woke up, drink my Starbucks and getting ready for the day.
I can see through your windows some sunshine just coming through. Is that a good weather right now?
Yes, it is. It's a good weather in Florida right now.
Wow, amazing. I used to work for Disney Cruise Line, and I was based in Port Canaveral in Florida. So I had a short contract for 4 months, and it was very warm.
But yeah, right now it's very nice, kind of like, well, what we call fall here. Not too hot.
Where is about in Florida you come from?
I live in St. Pete, Florida.
And that's the place where you were born and raised?
No, I'm from Kentucky.
Ah,
Um, yeah, I've been in Florida for about 7 years now, I think.
and why the change from Kentucky to Florida?
Um, I came here with my aunt. She's a travel nurse, and we came down here together. I was going to continue to travel with her, but then I met my husband and stayed in Florida and never left.
Oh, wow, amazing. And what's the best part of living in St. Pete?
It's a nice area. There's a lot to do, a lot of new restaurants to try all the time. You can walk, on the beach. There's a lot of parks. It's just really nice.
How far are you from the beach?
We're probably about 15 minutes from the beach.
Oh my goodness, so lucky.
Yeah.
Eric, and what do you do for living, for work?
Right now I don't do anything. I'm just a stay-at-home husband. I was in the medical field. I was a PCT in the ER. um, for the Children's Hospital, and it was just getting too much to me to see like a lot of death and stuff that's going on right now. Just it was getting too hard. So my husband and my boyfriend, because I'm in a polyamorous relationship, they both saw that it was just taking a toll on me and told me just to kind of take some time off. So right now I just take care of both of them, cook, clean, which I love to cook. So
Yes, I could see your profile. I was checking a little bit your profile. I could see you cooking in the kitchen. I was like, oh
yeah,
my God, I could see. There was one of your dishes was like a tart, I think.
yeah, like a blueberry cheesecake
Yes.
crumble. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God. Literally felt like eating some now. I was like, oh my God, shouldn't have a look at it. Eric, as you mentioned about a polyamory relationship, yeah, where you have a husband and also you have a boyfriend. So
Correct.
tell me, people watch the interview now. What's the best part of having a relationship, a three-way relationship, and what's the most challenging part, and also why you decided to enter this the relationship like this way, polyamorous.
Um, the best part is you just have two people that love you and you want to take care of you, and then you also have that for them. Um, I've been with my husband for, like I've said, about 7 years. We've been married for almost four. We didn't even get into polyamory until today's actually our 1 year anniversary with our boyfriend.
Wow.
Um, we met him, was hanging out with him, and kept hanging out, and both just kind of felt feelings for him, and we talked about it, and we wanted to try it. He's amazing. So it's just nice to have two people that care about you instead of one. It can be challenging sometimes just because it's three different attitudes sometimes, and you really got to have trust, and communication has to be really open when you do something like this, especially with, you know, you and your husband, because you don't want nothing to come between y'all and you've added somebody else in. But, you know, as long as you have the open communication, it's amazing. So, I mean, that's probably the hardest part, is just making sure everyone's on the same page, no one gets jealous. But then again, I mean, it's been great. I mean, I have another family now that loves me. His family, you know, loves us, and so it's cool.
It's amazing. Thanks for sharing. I think it's good to talk about those topics, because, you know, people, they can explore it. You know, sometimes you are in a relationship for a few years and maybe, you know, you kind of need some spicy to kind of lit up a relationship a little bit more, or bring some more adventure into it. So yeah, I think it's always, as you said, the communication always is the big main key, you know, to communicate, to understand, to, you know, to talk about. And I think if everyone can follow the same communication, I think it's great.
Yeah.
Amazing. And your boyfriend, he lives as well. You live all together?
Yes, we live all together now in his house. Me and my husband moved in with him, and we all three live in the same place. Yes.
Amazing. Actually, I had some couples in the past as well on the show that they were have a polyamorous relationship, but I want to take three guys together to have a interview one point. So if I knew that you had two, a boyfriend and a husband, I would have asked you. Anyway, maybe maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Eric, before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself.
Something interesting about myself. I'm the oldest of 5 boys.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
big family.
Yeah, big family.
And the only gay?
No, I'm gay. My youngest brother, he's bisexual, but he's in a relationship with a guy right now. And then 2 of my other brothers are straight. One actually is with my best friend, so that's been interesting. And then another one passed away when he was little. So
I see. And you guys are all you well connected. You have a good relationship, or?
yeah, we have a good relationship. It's been a little harder now that I live in Florida. I'm real close to my family, so that is the hardest part, is being away from family. But you know, every time I go down, we all get together, we hang out, we all have our different interests, so you know, we'll all do things together. But yeah, we're really close.
Amazing, very good. Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
I'm ready.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. My best friend here, okay? Round of fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now, just for us to move a little bit before the first question. Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, Eric, before we start the game, during the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, I always can change, okay?
Okay.
First question for you is, what scares you the most about your future?
I guess what scares me most about my future is just not knowing what's in the future. You never know what could happen. I mean, anything could change in the blink of an eye, and you never know. You know, there's can be so much scary things out there. You know, I mean, I don't know. I guess the most scary thing is not knowing. Not knowing, you know, are you going to be okay? You know, is something going to happen and then you're not going to, you know, be able to take care of yourself? That's probably the most scariest thing for the future for me, is just the unknown.
It's I totally understand your point as well. And a very good friend of mine told me once that even though it's scary, but at the same time as well, not knowing, it's a powerful place to be, because, you know, sometimes it can go, as you said, in a blink of eye, can go in a different direction, but at the same time as well can change your life or bring, you know, something that you're not expecting, or it can go both ways. But understand, it's always in the back of our mind. My goodness, what's coming now? What's next?
Yes.
And as we are starting now a new year, now 2023, you are a kind of person that you make new resolutions, you kind of organize yourself with some goals, or you just go by the day?
I kind of go by the day. I used to do like, the resolutions like, oh, I'm going to lose weight this year, the common ones, but I didn't want to, you don't want to put that kind of pressure on myself where I'm like, oh, this is how much weight I'm going to lose. I'd rather take it day by day and enjoy life and, try to lose weight. If I do, great. If I don't, well, I can always try again. But I'd rather take it day by day instead of having like this pressure on me of being like, oh, you made this New Year's resolution. Now you have to stick with it, and then if you don't, you feel bad. So I'd rather just take it day by day.
And when you think about 2022, if you could define the year, let's say in one word or in a phrase or something, what would you say?
Crazy. 2022 is crazy. Like I was in the medical field at that time, so I was in the ER, and
wow,
it was just a crazy and kind of just sad, difficult time with everything going on. And yeah.
Wow. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Next question for you is, what do you think people need to know about each other before they start a relationship? Good question for you.
Probably about, like I said again, how are they with communication? How are they with trust? You want to, I feel like you need to ask certain questions in your relationship, especially now, because I mean, with social media, with all the dating apps, there's just so much out there. And I feel like you just need to know with the person what they want in life. Do they want kids? Do they not want kids? I know sometimes that's an early thing to ask, but you don't want to waste time with someone and then get attached to someone, and then in the future, then there's no connection because you found out that you don't have the same interests. So I think you just really need to sit down, talk to them, and ask the tough questions. Get those out of the way to see what you want in your life. Especially like in polyamory, I didn't know that's what we wanted, so it was a good thing that me and him both did end up wanting to try it. But maybe those are the type of questions you want to ask. I mean, I know in the gay community a lot is open relationships or closed relationships. You need to ask those tough questions and get it out of the way, because you don't want to string someone along and then years down the road, months down the road, it don't work out, and one or both of you are really hurt.
And saying that, when was the moment that you and your husband said, okay, let's try something different, let's kind of explore a little bit more that?
We were together for 3 years. We actually got married on our 3-year anniversary. After we were married, we kind of just sat down and talked, and we played with the idea about like threesomes. So we tried that, but we had strict rules with it. So, if either one of us was uncomfortable, we would stop it immediately. So it was probably about 3 years into the relationship that we started talking about it, and we tried it and then stopped for a long time, and we just had rules set with it. And then, it led us to something else that was a new adventure for our life that we're really happy about.
Amazing. I think it's healthy. You guys kind of tried, you kind of was getting into the the journey, what I mean, slowly kind of get to see how it would work. But again, communication is the main key. I think if communication is there, you can find ways of the managing a situation and be happy.
Yeah.
Next one, let's do it. Right, before the next question, tell me, as you said, it was a crazy of 2022 regarding your professional career, yeah? What was the thing that you missed the most of that, the journey that you were working last year, and the most challenging part?
The thing I miss the most would probably be taking care of the kids. I grew up with a big family. I'm used to taking care of like my brothers. So I do miss that. I miss like seeing the kids come in and, they're not feeling they're great, the best. And we help them get better. And, we got to do stuff like when they were sad, we would blow bubbles and we would, sing songs with them. And, you really just have to be in the moment with kids. So I miss that a lot. But the toughest part would probably be that people don't really understand healthcare. They don't really understand when you go into the ER that it's not, oh, I got here first. You're coming in sometimes with people who have a bug bite, and yes, they're scared, and I get that, it's your child, but then you get yelled at and cussed at, like, oh, well, why did that child get to go back before mine? And people just don't understand that it's not about who got there first, it's about severity. And it's a good thing your child's not being rushed back. That means your child can wait. The children who are getting rushed back might not be able to, and we need to take care of them first. So the toughest part of that career is the people that aren't, I guess, well educated on healthcare. They don't understand that, what we go through, we have to sit there with a smile on our face, and you could be cussing at us, yelling at us, screaming at us, and you not know that we just got out of a trauma. We just watched someone lose their life, but we can't let that show. We have to go to the next child and smile and be happy. So I just wish people understood that healthcare is not as easy as some people might think it is. And, it's just all about like respect, and, and if you don't understand, ask questions, because it can be a very tough and challenging thing, especially on like your mental health.
Amazing. I'm so glad you're sharing that, because, I understand that people, they have some things going on with the situation. They don't want to, they are worried about their relatives and everything, but at the same time as well, there are other people working hard for that. You know what I mean? And sometimes, as you said, my goodness, those, they don't even think about what you went through your day, what challenge you had before dealing with that situation. And I think it's good for people to understand as well that you are there to help, you are, but at the same time as well, it's a person there. It's a person looking after another person and dealing with those emotions as well. So I think,
I get it. You're scared, and I would be too if it was my loved one. But if we're telling you, like, hey, your child's fine to wait at this moment. We're busy. If anything changes, we will, get to them. So, it can be tough.
All right. Next question is, how do you make friends?
I'm a very shy person. It's honestly hard for me to make friends, and especially nowadays, everything's done online. So a lot of the friends we've made have been on like apps and stuff. I feel like that's just how you make friends now, because I'm not a type of person that can go out to a bar or something and easily talk to somebody unless I've had a couple of drinks, because it was hard for me to even agree to do the interview because I can be so shy. But I'm trying to be more out there. So usually how I make friends is like the internet. And then we'll go hang out at people's houses, and then you meet other people, and that's kind of how we've made friends in the past. I'm a very person that once when I have a friend, I really care about them. I have very few friends, and I stick with them just because of how close we are.
Tell me, how is being gay in St. Pete? It's easy, it can be challenging, or you can be your true self?
That's probably a little tougher question for me, just because I probably could feel like I could be myself in St. Pete. St. Pete is very accepting. There is a lot more of it, but I grew up in Kentucky. I grew up in a very area that was not accepting in it in some parts. I worked at a restaurant before that, I have a tattoo on the back of my neck that says pride, because it took me a long time to be comfortable with who I am. And I wanted people to understand that I am happy. And I had a lot of death threats. I had a lot of people, wanting to say they weren't going to kill me, as I was walking to my car because I was gay. So that sticks with me a lot. And nowadays you hear of all this stuff happening to the LGBTQ plus community, and it does get scary. St. Pete is very open. They have a lot of, shops, and the Pride Parade is amazing. So I do feel safe, but you still always have that in the back of your mind, like, this just happened in Miami. Could it happen here? It happened in Orlando. So you always have that in the back of your mind, because there are people out there that do not agree with us. But you can't also let that scare you to the point where you don't do things. I do feel safe in St. Pete, but I still always have that in the back of my head, like, this could happen here, it could happen anywhere.
So you feel like Florida State or St. Pete, it's a bit more open than back in Kentucky where you grew up?
Some parts of Florida, yes. St. Pete, yes. St. Pete is more open, but there are still parts of Florida who are not, that I would feel unsafe to get out of my car just because of my tattoo on the back of my neck. So, I mean, yes, St. Pete, I do. I feel fine. I'm still not the type of person that will, you know, hold my husband or boyfriend's hand out in public or kiss out in public just because I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable, and I don't want someone to say something to us because I can have a spiteful tongue, and I don't want someone to start coming for me or my loved ones and then me saying something back just because they upset me. I would rather be the bigger person and not do that. So I also just don't want to show that in certain parts. You know, I will at when we're at clubs or LGBTQ plus events and stuff, I feel more comfortable. But if we're just at the grocery store, I don't try to show PDA because I don't want to cause more problems that could.
When you got your tattoo in your neck called Saint Pride, did you kind of wonder if you'd have some trouble because of that, or for you was a way for you, okay, let me just express myself without caring too much?
It was both. I knew that, you know, people kept telling me, oh, you're going to put that on the back of your neck. Like everyone's going to see it. That's going to be a target for you. I knew that getting it, but it took me a very long time to be comfortable with who I was. I dated women. I was engaged to a woman because I was so scared my family was going to disown me. And one day when I realized that I can't be like that, that it's not fair to the people that I am dating, it's not fair to myself, and it's honestly not fair to my family to lie to them. That's why I got the tattoo. And then my best friend, who my brother actually dates, she got the same tattoo, and they're puzzle pieces and they fit together. And it's rainbow, and you know, so that helped me too, because she is very supportive of me. So I was like, I know I'm gonna get the hate for the tattoo, but also I want people to know that I am proud of who I am. And most of the time people look at it and they don't know what it means. A lot of people think it's for autism. So sometimes, you know, depending on the situation, because autism do have puzzle pieces in their logo.
Okay.
If I feel like I can explain to the person that it's not autism, that they might be accepting, I'm like, no, actually it means this. But if I can tell that they're not gonna be happy with my answer, I just go, oh, thank you for liking my tattoo. Because I don't want to start problems.
I'm afraid to say after this interview, everyone knows now what the meaning of it, okay?
Yeah, everyone knows now.
I'm joking. Let's do it. Okay, Eric from Florida. Next question is, what's something you wish you could do every single day?
I wish I could travel every single day. I love to travel. I love seeing new things. I love making memories with my husband and boyfriend. Just doing things that I might not, you know, other people might never dream of doing. I never dream of doing. I love to travel. So if I could travel every day and see something new, that would be amazing to me. I would love to be able to do that.
Let's say that we have the superpower now of go anywhere in the world with your husband and your boyfriend. Just take their hands and appear somewhere in the world. Where would you go right now?
Right now, I would go to Rome. I have always wanted to visit Rome. I love like Greek mythology. I love all that kind of stuff. So I would love to go to Rome, go to Greece to be able to see just all that amazing artwork and everything there. So if I could go anywhere right now and make it happen, it would probably be Rome.
Amazing. Very good. Ready for another one?
Yes.
Let's do it. Next question for you is, what did you think was the most challenging part of being a kid?
Most challenging part of being a kid would probably be the bullying. I mean, it happens. To me, that's probably the most challenging part, because you have, you know, kids saying, you know, mean things to you, you know, stuff that you have to try to believe it's not true. And I mean, it starts when you're in school. I mean, that it can go from elementary school to high school. And I mean, sometimes it can even last outside of school into your adulthood. But I think bullying, especially nowadays with social media, I mean, it's so bad out there. And it causes kids to do just horrible things, and it's sad. I just wish that everyone, especially as a kid, you're fragile. You know, you're trying to learn what's right, what's wrong, and you know, if you have all these people telling you that, you know, you're one thing and they're being down on you, that can be very hard as a child. You know, especially with working with children, I've had to see this, and it's very sad. I wish, you know, people understood that, you know, what you say can really affect children, whether it be friends, family, I mean, their own mom and dad. That's probably the toughest part of being a child, is having to grow up, especially if you're dealing with bullying, because it's really going to take a toll on yourself. And you're going to have to really work hard to not believe all these things that people have said about you.
Absolutely. And I'm not sure if I'm wrong or I'm right about this, but I think most of the time is the parents' fault. I don't know if I'm wrong, because some kids, I understand that sometimes at school you can go with the, you know, the crowd and everything, but I think with the parents, they could be more open-minded, talking about or explain about the things. I think the kids, they would approach in a different way, because most of the time they're scared. They just, when they point, they just, you know, they don't understand, and sometimes there is a way for them to you know what I mean, they attack somehow, or they express the way, and the other children can be hurt, and they can take, you know what I mean, harmful,
Yeah.
you know, can be insecure, or, you know, it can be different ways, or being gay, or being, you know, too tall, too short, or some weight, or too skinny. It could go different directions.
Yeah.
But I think if parenting, they could somehow educate it in a different way with those, you know, topics, maybe would be a bit different.
Yeah,
I believe.
I agree.
And I think as well, maybe, you know, there's a question here in the magic box saying that if you could make up a school subject, a new one, what that would be. And I think that would be a good one. You know, imagine teaching kids from very young age about those differences. There's no difference at all anyway. Just those things that we are not used to. You know what I mean? So maybe it would be a good start, let's say.
I think that would be a very good subject to do and teach kids, you know, to not judge so early, get to know somebody first. Yeah, I think that would be an amazing subject.
It's out there. You just flew to the universe now. Maybe someone see the interview, like, you know what? Let's see what we can do regarding that.
Yes.
Next one, Eric, let's do it. Okay, before the next question, as you mentioned that you like cooking, tell me, what do you cook that your husband and your boyfriend like the most? And also at the same time, tell me something that you don't like eating, something that you cook, other people like, but you can't stand.
It's probably hard to choose what they like the most, because I love to bake. So I'm a very big sweet person. So I try to make a new dessert once a week. For them. Yeah, I try to bake a dessert once a week. The most recent one that they really both liked was just simple peanut butter blossom cookies, which is just the peanut butter cookies with the Hershey Kiss on top. They absolutely love them. And I think they got all 8 within 3 days. So they usually, they like almost everything I cook. If they don't, you know, I want them to tell me what I can change to be different about it, because I want them to enjoy it. Something that I guess that I know everyone's going to be like, seriously, but I don't eat fruits or vegetables. So I will cook them vegetables and stuff for them. But I'm more of like a meat person, potatoes, starches, you know, I'm more of that. So, I mean, I'll cook like vegetable stir fry, and I'll cook, you know, vegetables and stuff for them, but then I'll make myself something else that don't have vegetables in it, because I'm not a vegetable and fruit person.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Okay, next question is, what would be your ideal day?
My ideal date?
No, day, sorry, day.
Day?
Yeah. Or ideal dates anyway. You were so enthusiastic, like the answer was already in your song.
No, I mean, the most interesting day like I said, I like to do new things. So probably just going somewhere that I've never been, and seeing something that I haven't got to see. Just really just exploring something new would be a very perfect day for me. I love to do new things, especially with people. So doing just something new and exciting would be a perfect day for me.
And when you think about Kentucky, what's the best memory that comes to your mind?
Family. Family is probably the best memory that comes to mind. Family and friends. Like I said, it's hard being away from them, but you know, I made that choice because it's better for me to be in a more accepting state. Plus, my husband's here. But when I think of Kentucky, that's what I think of the most is family. I love going back home. We're very close. We're a very big family. My grandma is the reason why I love to bake, because when I was a child, every Christmas we made cookies and fudge, and so that's just, anytime I think of Kentucky, it's what I think of is my family and playing board games and laughing and having a good time.
How far is Kentucky from Florida? Is very far or not?
If we drive, it can take about 16 hours after all the stops and stuff. If we fly, it's only about a 2-hour flight. I think it's about 800 to 900 miles away from Florida.
I see. So somehow, if you take a plane, it can be kind of easy to get there. Not that difficult.
Yeah. If we take a plane, it's easier, but sometimes plane tickets can be very expensive. So we'll drive, which is a brutal drive.
But it's good as well. You have 2 companies around you to drive as well. Imagine how amazing.
Yeah.
3 questions left for you, Eric. Let's do it.
Okay.
Next question is, who is the most influential person in your life?
I guess I don't really have one. There would be many people, but someone that I've always looked up to would probably be my aunt. Like I said, she's the one that I came traveling with. I've always looked up to her because, she was a nurse. She knew what she wanted. She, went through nursing school in a tough time of her life and still done it. So I've always looked up to her. I've always wanted to make her proud. But also my mom and my grandma, because that's my mom's sister, my mom's mom. They're also very influential to me just because I've been so close to them. I've always looked up to them and never wanted to disappoint them. They're all 3 very strong women. They've been through a lot in their life and they've never let that get them down, So it would probably be all 3 of them just because they were so strong, and that's how I want to be. I want to be a strong person and that can get through anything. So it'd probably be them.
I can see both of them 3 of them watch the interview and smiling right now.
Yeah.
Sweet. 2 questions left. Let's do it. But before the next question, what's the biggest difference between you and your husband, you and your boyfriend, and also the biggest similarity between 3 of you?
The biggest difference probably between me and my husband is I'm more outgoing and like to do stuff spontaneously. I could easily just jump up and be like, let's go do this. And he's more of, we need to plan, like you need to be better at planning. Let's plan this trip. And he's also more of like a homebody. He is a computer programmer, so he can sit at home and just watch TV and program all day. And I'm more of like, let's go. The biggest difference probably between me and my boyfriend, our boyfriend, he's a lot more like me. He's probably, our fashion's probably very different. He likes to dress in like fishing shirts and fishing hats, and I would rather wear something else. So our fashion's very different. We're all very similar though, of like, we can all 3 be very hard-headed and want to be right. So we're very similar with that. And we all 3 just like, to go do stuff together. We like just to be together, be with friends. you know, have a board game night and drink. So we're very similar in that kind of area. But I mean, we have our similarities and we have our differences.
Amazing. Okay, next question is, what was your worst foot in mouth moment?
My worst foot in the mouth moment?
Yeah.
Ooh. My worst foot in the mouth moment would probably be when I got in a fight with one of my friends. Me and her were just kind of going at it, and she was calling me some not nice things. And like I said, sometimes I can have a spiteful tongue. And I said something very not nice to her back, which ended up being a foot in the mouth moment because I didn't mean it. And we ended up not talking for a while, but we ended up getting back together and, you know, apologizing and stuff. It was just a heat of the moment thing. So that's probably one of my most foot in the mouth moments. Is any of them I've had is probably my spiteful tongue, because when I get angry, I tend to not think about what I say, and I try to work on that a lot because it's not fair to nobody. But that can definitely be a foot in the mouth moment, is when you have a spiteful tongue and you don't think before you say something.
I love the expression you just said, spice tongue. I love that. I'm gonna use that from now on. Okay.
Okay.
And you always had this way of approaching life or conversations, or expressing yourself?
No, I mean, it just depends on the conversation. You know, it just depends on what someone's saying to me. You know, if you're being very hateful and mean, that just builds up in me. And then I don't like confrontation at all. And I don't like to fight. So if I'm going to fight somebody, I'm going to cut you deep with my words, because I don't want to physically abuse anyone, even though mental abuse is just as bad. And that's why I'm working on it, because you can say something in the heat of the moment and not mean it. And that can really stick with somebody. So I really try to work on that. But I think I get that just because I grew up with, you know, like I said, I'm the oldest of 5 boys. All my cousins are boys. We're all very, you know, can be at each other. And my family's very joking. We have a very joking sense of humor, you know, so I'm just around all that, I guess, testosterone. And like I said, my mom, my grandma, and my aunt are very strong women. They can sometimes have spiteful tongues and say things they don't mean. So I think that just kind of runs in our family, but we all try to work on it. Because I mean, mental abuse can be just as bad as any physical abuse. So yeah, I haven't always been like that, but I think it's just when you get so much hate towards you, you build that shell, and then you're like, I just want this to stop. So you'll say something you don't mean because you're just used to so much hateful talk, especially when you're a gay male. You know, people can really say some hurtful and mean things to you.
And if they do, your spice tongue just gets spicy.
Yeah, my spiteful tongue can get me in trouble, yes.
Ready for the last one?
Sure.
Let's do it. Last question. Okay, Eric, before the last question, tell me, people watching the interview right now, would you like to start a career in healthcare? Yeah? What would be your best piece of advice?
My best piece of advice is, if you are thinking about going in the healthcare, especially the nursing field, I would try to be a PCT first. It is a less time. Like, I got my PCT CNA license in 2 weeks. You can challenge the test. I think you should do that and go work somewhere to make sure you're going to be able to handle the stress, because it can be a very stressful situation. So I think you should try that for a year or two, because you're still going to learn stuff. You're still going to get to work with these amazing nurses. You're going to be helping them. You're going to get to see what they go through and decide if that's something you want to do. And then if you do want to go into nursing, I say, make sure you really search the proper and right school, because I have been in nursing school and I didn't go to the best school. And it's a very hard and challenging time if you're going to go in the healthcare career. Let all your friends, your family, your significant others know that you are going to end up being distant, because if you're especially in nursing school, it takes 2 years and you have to really buckle down. You're not going to be going nowhere. You're not going to be doing nothing. You're not going to be hanging out with no one. So let them know that not only are you going to be going through this, but they're going to be going through it as well, and you're going to be stressed. So I think you just really need to think about it, talk to your family and friends, reach out to people who've been to nursing school, and really study which school is going to be the best option for you.
And saying that, Eric, through your career, if you can share like one moment that you're always gonna have a special place in your heart, like maybe a feedback of someone that you helped somehow, or maybe a comment or something that you go like, you know what, I will always remember that. There is something you could share?
I will always remember coming in, like kids being scared. I was very good at calming them down. And, there was a time that this kid, probably 3, very young, had to have stitches. And I downloaded YouTube Kids on my phone so I could play songs, and I would just sing Baby Shark with them, and talk to them. And the mom was like, I really appreciate that. You really helped calm them down. And that just meant a lot to me, to be able to help this kid who I know is terrified, especially getting stitches on the face. You can see that coming. You have to keep them calm. And it just means a lot when parents are like, thank you for doing that. Thank you for letting your guard down and kind of being a kid yourself, and didn't mind singing in a room full of people. It's stuff like that. I mean, there are very good moments. You're going to have amazing moments with your patients that you're going to just feel very touched, but you're also going to have very sad moments. So it's, but the good will always outweigh the bad.
And those moments, kids, they never forget. I'm sure this kid you mentioned about, is having stitches. I'm sure in the future, this kid talks to someone, they're gonna remember that, and they're gonna go like, you know what, there was this guy there doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never forget for sure. Last question for you is, if you could go back in time in one moment or memory in your life, what that would be and why?
I would probably go back and I went to culinary school right out of high school. So I'd probably go back in time and tell myself to take some time to enjoy a little more of my life before I did that. Because I didn't end up finishing culinary school, I would probably also tell myself that you don't have to go to culinary school to be an amazing baker, because I went to a school and it was very strict and tough. I mean, if you wasn't in your proper uniform and one of the chefs walked in and you were in math class and they seen you, they could be like, go home. You don't have your shirt on right. And it was a very strict school, but I would just tell myself like, hey, you can still learn to bake online and you're going to be an amazing baker. Growing up, everyone loves my cooking and baking. That I would probably tell myself that I should have made a career out of it instead of putting it on the back burner and forgetting how much I love to cook and bake.
Amazing, I love that. Okay, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Life.
Adventure.
Love.
Can be what you make it.
Money.
Can be dangerous.
Family.
Love.
How about sex?
Exciting.
Look at your face. Exciting. Politics.
Not my thing.
Okay. Religion.
Can be dangerous.
Fear.
Can also be dangerous.
Friendship.
Love.
Desire.
I don't know. I guess passion.
Okay. Regrets.
Don't want.
Success.
Is what you make it.
Wish.
For everyone to be happy.
How about happiness? One word.
Family.
One word for Kentucky.
What came to mind first was Derby.
Derby.
The Kentucky Derby.
What's that?
The Kentucky Derby is a event in Kentucky. It's horse racing. It's a real big event. So a lot of people associate Kentucky with Derby. So when you said Kentucky, that was honestly the first thing that came to mind.
And you just made my day now. I learned something new. Amazing. One word for Florida.
Grateful.
USA.
I don't really know because I want to say freedom, but sometimes it's not as free as you would think.
One word for baking.
Amazing, yummy.
And the last one now, healthcare. One word.
Challenging.
Okay. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your husband and your boyfriend for a coffee. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask them, tell me the most beautiful thing about Eric and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What they would say?
They probably say the most beautiful thing about me is just my energy and always wanting to get them to do things with them. My love. The thing they probably say I need to work on is budgeting and not spending so much money.
You should tell them, you know what? I'm baking every day for you. I should spend money. You should say that.
Yes.
If I would ask the same question to your best friend, would be the same answer?
As far as what she thinks, loving me, great memories would be like the thing that she probably loves most about me. Knowing her, if you asked her what I need to change, she would probably say nothing, that I'm perfect, because that's just how she is. So yeah, she would probably just be like, nothing, he's amazing, just because we are so close. That's probably what she would honestly say to you.
Sweet, very sweet. Let's play now Eric and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it.
Okay.
Ready? You can ask me a question now.
If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, the first thing that came to my mind is Japan. Okay. It's so fascinating. I'm so fascinated about the culture. I'm so fascinated about the country. And actually, on Monday, I'm going to hit 800 interviews on the show so far. And for the first time, I'm going to have a Japanese on the show. I was so happy we did the interview a few days ago. And I was so fascinated. I was like, oh my God. And now you've talked a lot about Japan. It's just something about the culture, Eric, that's always been fascinated, you know? The way they look, I was working hospitality for a few years in hotels, and we had a few guests from Japan sometimes. And the way they talk to you, the way they approach you, they look in your eyes, it's just so fascinating to see, you know, and I'd love to spend some time there to explore the country itself. And I'd love to be there sometime, because I think I would come back a different person. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think the way they approach life, they're like organized. I don't know. It's just something about the culture that's always been fascinated. So yes, if I had the superpower of flying right now, I would go to Japan. But actually, before I go to Japan, I would stop by a little bit in Florida, St. Pete, to eat a little bit of tart that someone cooks really well. And after that, I would carry on with my trip.
I would definitely bake some tarts for you. We always have desserts here.
It's recording, okay? You cannot run away anymore, okay?
I won't.
Beautiful. Did you enjoy the interview?
I did enjoy the interview.
Thank you so much for challenging yourself. As you said, you're very shy and understands. You know, sometimes going out of our comfort zone, can bring beautiful things and can help us to, to be more outgoing or somehow, come out of our shelves. And I think it's, I have so many people on the show that, they said, William, I'm so glad that I took the challenge. I challenged myself, because sometimes you never know. You can be communicating with so many people, interact with people as well, and, connecting with people. And sometimes it can bring beautiful things for sure.
Yes, thank you for having me. It was a very good time and very fun to be able to answer all your questions.
Amazing. Before you go, if you can share a positive message, something that you live by.
Something to live by, I think, would be take time to do stuff with your loved ones. Make memories. Memories are amazing. Do stuff that you would never be able to do, that you never thought you'd be able to do. And just do that. Don't always have to focus on, money and stuff like that. Yes, pay your bills and make sure all that's done, but take some time to yourself with your loved ones and explore new things and take adventures.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love the message. Regards to your partners, and we keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay, Eric, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why do you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.